My name's Joel, I'm 29 years old, and I'm originally from the United States. I've been living here in Medellín for the last 3 years, and it has been the experience of a lifetime. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything I've learned about living here, from the good to the bad, as well as clear up some common misconceptions I've heard about Medellín in other videos, and I'll also explain why I've decided it's time for me to move on. Hopefully, from my experience living here, this video will provide you with valuable insight on what it's actually like to live here in Medellín, to help you decide if it's the right place for you, whether you're considering moving here for the long term or just planning a short visit. Back in 2019, I was living in California at the time, and I thought I was doing great in life because I was able to live in a nice place on my own at the age of 23, but I wasn't happy. I found myself trapped in a routine. I was working a job that was steady and paid well, but it was deeply unsatisfying, and I felt stuck in life, and I knew that I needed a change. I wanted to live somewhere where I knew I could live a more relaxed lifestyle, and Medellín checked all the boxes at the time. The first time I visited Medellín back in November of 2019, I immediately fell in love with the place. From the people and the weather being so warm and welcoming, to the drastic difference of how much further my money went in comparison. The cost of living made it possible for me to live the life that I was looking for at the time. Honestly, it was a dream come true for a guy like me. I knew then that I wanted to live here in Medellín. But like many other people at this time, being November of 2019, life had other plans. I remember arriving at the airport in California and getting a call from my mom, and basically she broke the news to me about COVID and how that was beginning. At the time, I didn't realize how serious COVID was going to be. I had no idea that there was going to be a quarantine or anything, but it was kind of wild, the timing, because I literally just got back from my first Colombia visit and straight into quarantine, basically, just a couple months later. And this put a huge halt on my plans. I fully planned on moving to Colombia soon after I had my first visit because I knew that I loved it there and I wanted to live there. But like I said, life had other plans and COVID started, so put a huge halt on my plans, and I ended up staying in California for a little bit longer and eventually moved closer to my family in Hawaii to stay during the quarantine. But eventually I ended up moving back to Colombia 2 years later in November of 2021, and I was beyond excited that my dreams are finally coming true, to live in Medellín. But as I started to settle in the city, something felt different about it this time. I couldn't figure out exactly what it was, but in hindsight, it's because the city was changing, and the way foreigners were being viewed was changing as well. With the influx of tourists coming to Colombia, the Passport Bros movement starting, as well as Medellín's growing popularity and reputation through YouTubers and other social media influencers, came the changes, both positive and negative. While Medellín's increasing popularity has brought challenges, it's also driven positive changes. The economic boost has helped local businesses thrive, infrastructure continue to improve, and the city has had a massive change from its former issues. Medellín has went from one of the most dangerous places in the world to now becoming an international destination. It's a place where cultures meet, exchange ideas, and create more of a dynamic community within Colombia. Because of so many tourists coming to visit Medellín, this is also causing gentrification to become prevalent in the city, making cost of living prices go up not only for expats, but for the locals living here as well. More crimes against tourists continue to increase, such as kidnapping for extortion, robberies, drugging with scopolamine, and even sometimes killing tourists here in Medellín. These numbers continue to increase as more time passes due to more expats coming to visit or live here. But expats are not the only victims due to the growing popularity. Because of so many people visiting, sometimes the wrong people visit as well, as news spreads quickly when foreigners are killing Colombians as well, or when the horrible cases of pedophiles come into Colombia to fulfill their despicable perversions. Although many Americans come here for the right reasons, to experience a new culture, unfortunately these few ruin it for everyone and give us a bad name. Colombia has also become a world destination for sex tourism, as many Americans and other tourists come here to sleep with prostitutes, which does not sit well with the locals living here as well. I have seen posters in popular parts of the city, and social media posts such as "Gringo Go Home" in response to the negativity. But despite all of these issues, Colombians are still a very positive people. I've never been treated badly as an American living here once. In fact, Medellín has the most polite people out of anywhere else that I've lived, and it always felt easy to make friends here. I know it's also because I'm always friendly to everyone that I meet or even just greet passing by. It also helps that I took the time and effort to learn Spanish, and I also respected and adapted to the Colombian culture here. So as long as you come here for the right reasons and you're not rude or unpleasant with people, you'll be treated the same. Let's start with the good stuff, because there's a lot to love about this place. In my personal experience, you could live a very comfortable life here with a budget of $1,500 a month. You could still live a good life here for less than that as well, but it would either mean searching for a lower-end apartment or adjusting your budget to a more relaxed lifestyle of not spending much while you are here. Medellín, Colombia is known as the city of eternal spring because of its warm temperature climate and vibrant flowers. Another thing I love about Medellín is the culture has such a good sense of community like nothing I've ever seen. It almost seems effortless to meet new people or start conversation with someone. The locals here are always warm and welcoming if you only approach with a similar attitude and show that you are trying to learn their language. A little goes a long way, and just learning at least the basics will set you apart from other expats living here. Whether it's talking to the Uber drivers I've had, or asking someone for help or directions, then leading to a conversation about life. I'm so thankful for the relationships I got to have while living here, and how seamless it always was to start them. Unfortunately, there is some cons that I want to go over as well about living here. Let's address the elephant in the room: safety. While Medellín has come a long way since its darker days, it could still be dangerous if you are not careful and constantly keeping your head on a swivel when out in public. Unfortunately, as an American living here, you will always be a target for the criminals. It's very common to have your phone or personal belongings stolen from you by methods of pickpocketing. There's also some cases of robbery by force here in Medellín, so this is something that you also need to keep in mind and stay cautious while out in public. Another safety concern is the use of scopolamine here in Medellín. If administered, it basically makes you the person's puppet, and you will do whatever they ask of you. There's been cases of women drugging foreigners in order to take them back to their apartment, where they will willingly give them all of their belongings or drain their bank account. In some cases, these women don't know how to properly dose the scopolamine and give too much, which leads to overdosing and killing the victim. There's also some cultural differences here that you need to get used to. Time is not money here like it is in the US. It moves differently. Colombian time means things are usually slower, whether that's service at a restaurant or getting tasks done. That also means that setting plans to hang out with someone usually means they're either going to flake on you or they'll be extremely late. And that's just a common thing here that you have to get used to. Don't take it personal, because it's very common. If I'm being honest, as great as living in Medellín is, it also comes with a consistent awareness and anxiety of constantly being at risk of being robbed while out in public. And for me personally, starting a new YouTube channel, this was kind of a deal breaker. I also got very used to the kind of life that I was living in Colombia, and there wasn't that same spark that there used to be when I was new here. I want to reignite that spark and experience other countries and cultures while I still can. And as amazing as Medellín is, I feel like I'm ready to experience more of the world and see what else it has to offer me. Colombia will always be a special place to me, and I still plan on returning one day in the future. I learned Spanish, met incredible people, and had the experience of a lifetime, and I am forever grateful for that. I still want to continue to create content about Medellín, to share my experiences, and give advice and information on how to stay safe in this beautiful city. I'll also make other videos on prices, cost of living, and any other information that I think might be valuable or worth posting. And in the meantime, I will continue to share my experiences in traveling to other countries such as Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines, Korea, Japan, and many more. My time living here in Medellín was life-changing, and I would not trade this experience for anything. I learned a new language, experienced a new culture that felt otherworldly, met some really amazing friends that I plan on keeping in touch with, and truly opened my eyes to the possibilities of solo travel. If you made it this far in the video, let me know in the comments below what you think of this kind of content and if you'd like to see more of it. Also, let me know in the comments below if you plan on visiting Colombia anytime soon. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you stick around for what's to come.